Rotax Senior, Tag Senior, you're on grid. Rotax Masters, Tag Masters, you're pre-grid. Rolling out next will be our Rotax Junior, Tag Junior group. And row number 6 will be Dobbin Holmes. Row 5 will be Sam Audie and Sierra Smith. Row 4, Zach Hancock and Michael McCarthy. Row 3 will be Ryan Norberg and Anthony Patak. Row 2, Austin Garrison and Olivier Bellinger. And row 1 will be Quentin DeBoover. And on your pole, Ashley Rajero with a 36.052. So Ashley Rajero and Quentin DeBoover will lead them down into our starting lanes. Drivers will split out as they come out of our showcase turn. And a good start for Miss Rajero. Looks like she'll lead as they come into turn number 1. And we're going to go 2 wide through turn number 2. So it looks like I know at least Michael McCarthy gets through there. And they're going to let somebody out to dry as one driver went back at least 3 positions. So Rajero and DeBoover off to a lead. They've got a good half a second advantage over third place. I believe that's Anthony Patak and the other Burrell. It's a good 0.7 of a second, so it's Olivier Bellinger in second, pardon me. DeBoover was the driver that got dropped back. So at the line, first lap was Rajero, Bellinger, Patak, McCarthy, Garrison, Norberg, DeBoover, Smith, Hancock, Holmes, and Audie. Once again, another 2-kart breakaway. Michael McCarthy dives to the inside of the showcase turn, and he'll get around Anthony Patak. So move McCarthy to third. Great battle back there for that third spot, as now will include Austin Garrison in the number 9. Looks like he did get around Anthony Patak, so that'll move him into fourth. Garrison now into fourth. Patak's lost 2 positions in that last lap as he reaches back to adjust that power valve. So Rogero still continues to lead. It was 0.3 of a second last time by. It's the same this time by, but we've got a new 3rd place and 4th place driver as we've got like Dobbin Holmes off the track just a little bit on the front straightaway. To the inside, looks like another over-under move between Michael McCarthy and Austin Garrison. And McCarthy comes out on top as Garrison passed him in 2 and repassed in 3. So now 5 karts will battle out for that 3rd spot in Rotax Junior. Garrison right on the back bumper of McCarthy. Looks to the inside in 1. Takes the spot away. Can he hold on to it? 2 kart length lead as they come through turn number 2. He looks, he dives. He's on the inside of that turn number 3, so no chance for a move there. Once again, a favorite passing spot when we run this configuration is that turn 3 to dive up underneath somebody. So we move Austin Garrison to P3. Top 3 drivers, Tony Karts, with Michael McCarthy and Anthony Patak running the Burrell chassis. So we've got 1 driver off the track come in through the pits. I believe that may be Sam Audie. Folks, this is an 18-lap pre-final. 18 laps for our Rotax Juniors. You think that's something? I believe we're running 25-lap finals. So no change in the running order that time by. Still Rogero leading over Olivier Bellinger. Second group led by Austin Garrison, Michael McCarthy, Anthony Patak, Ryan Norberg, and Quentin DeBouver. Patak to the inside of McCarthy in the showcase. He'll come out on top. So move him to 4th. As we're watching Austin Garrison slowly pulling away. He's got a 0.7 of a second lead over Patak in 1 lap. Can Austin Garrison chase down Olivier Bellinger? He's got 11 laps to go. At the line, he was 1.5 seconds back of Olivier Bellinger. We'll see if he closes that gap up. Norberg looks to the inside of McCarthy and has to back out in the showcase. So Norberg already showing battle scars in that front nose as it's pushed in a little bit, so he's been using the chrome horn. That gap was 2.4 seconds between Bellinger and Garrison, so he's not closing in. That's 3rd place Austin Garrison. Your new 4th place driver, Anthony Patak, looks over his left shoulder and sees Michael McCarthy still dogging him, as Ryan Norberg has lost that spot to DeBouver. So DeBouver now into 6th. Ashley Rogero's lead last time, 1.1 seconds over Olivier Bellinger. Now McCarthy takes that spot back away from Anthony Patak as they come through turn number 8. And look who's there. It's Quentin DeBouver looking to pounce. So a great battle there. That's for that 4th spot between McCarthy, Patak, and DeBouver. And Ryan Norberg is trying to close up to make it a 4-way battle for 4th. Ashley Rogero pulled down into a 1.5-second lead over Olivier Bellinger. But I am seeing Austin Garrison close in on Bellinger now. It was 1.5 seconds last time by. It's now down to a second. As McCarthy leads that group for fourth. It's McCarthy, Patak, DeBoover, and Norberg. Now Norberg caught back up. They're nose to tail and side by side coming through turn 3. Norberg gets around Quentin DeBoover. So move him into sixth spot now. Norberg now looking to get around Patak, and he does. So 2 in 4 turns. Great move there for Ryan Norberg. Ryan looks to the inside, gives that car a push. Patak takes the spot back away in turn number 1, looking to the inside. DeBoover unable to make that move. So 5 laps to go, and the battle is for 6th. And the back bumper of Anthony Patak is off and dragging, and will be given the meatball flag next time around if he makes it around. Garrison now within about 10 kart lengths of second place. Anthony Patak heeds the meatball flag and will pull off. Patak running in 7th at the time. But Michael McCarthy running 4th has stretched out about a 1.5-second gap back to Quentin DeBoover for that battle for 4th. Rogero with a 2.7-second lead, now coming to 2 to go this time by, as Austin Garrison last time by had a 0.5 second gap between himself and Olivier Bellinger. Let's see if he can close that up even more with 2 laps to go. It's down to 0.4 seconds. Garrison could see him. Can he pull him in? Gets a good run down that short chute between turns 1 and 2. He's now within a couple kart lengths as they come through turn 3. Rogero already through the tree turn. The battle for second. Olivier Bellinger looks like he's going to carry that second spot. With 1 lap to go. Austin Garrison now within 0.3 seconds. Looks like he lost a little bit of ground this time by. So Rogero through the tree turn for the last time before she'll pick up the checkered flag here in Rotax Junior. Ashley Rogero takes the win. And in second will be Olivier Bellinger. Austin Garrison third. Coming home fourth, Michael McCarthy. In fifth will be Quentin DeBoover. Up next, your Rotax Senior Tag Senior. All right, Rotax Senior Tag Senior Group out on the track. I need Rotax Masters and Tag Masters on the grid, and Yamaha Rookie and Cadet Sportsman pre-grid. Starting row 10, here will be Derek Mays. On row 9 will be Oliver Askew and Brent Lyman. So let's watch Oliver come through the field. In row 8 will be Miguel Gronsal and Joshua Smith. Row 7, Robbie Napier and Daniel Gray. Row 6, Dylan Bucci and Kyle Anderson. Row 5, Austin Jordan and Annie Hayden. Row 4, A.J. Myers and Morgan Healy. Row 3, Porter Aiken, Dustin Strauss. Row 2, Jonathan Kotick, Roger Ralston. Row number 1, Sam Beasley and Nick Neary. Beasley on pole. Beasley in that black OGP suit, and he'll take off into the lead with Neary right behind him. And we're going to watch for Oliver Askew coming through the field. See if we can find Oliver already in that 338. Oliver already got around 5 go-karts. As Beasley looks to retake the lead over Nick Neary as they come through turn 1, and he's going to pull Kotick with him. And another driver, so move Neary back to 4th. So it looks like Roger Ralston, Jonathan Kotick, and Sam Beasley all got by Nick Neary as we've got a driver dropped a couple wheels off, or a wheel off in turn number 2. So Neary coming through the tree turn, takes over position again. So Beasley leading the way with Nick Neary in 2nd, Jonathan Kotick in 3rd. That group broken away just a little bit. From 4th place was Roger Ralston. Still Ralston running 4th, Porter Aiken 5th, Myers in 6th. 7th, Oliver Askew already, so coming from 18th to 7th in 2 laps. Morgan Healy 8th, Dustin Strauss 9th, and Annie Hayden in 10th. Move Oliver Askew up into 6th. Oliver with that multicolored green helmet and the black OGP suit. So Oliver Askew with a 322 of Porter Aiken directly in front of him. Can he make the move? Coming through the short chute. He pulls up beside him. And they're side by side through 2. Great bit of driving between both drivers. But Aiken drops it off on the outside of turn number 2. But move Oliver Askew now up to 5th. So Oliver Askew started dead last, shotgun on the field, already up to 5th, and now this is lap number 3. Oliver Askew with quick lap 35.237, about 0.2 of a second quicker than our leader. Askew's next possible victim will be Roger Ralston running in that 3:01. And he's on him as they come through the tree turn now. Can he make a move as they come into the showcase? This will be turn number 8. He'll have to do it at the end of either turn 1 or the short chute between 2 as Ralston looks over his shoulder. He's on him. Looks like he made a diving move into turn 2 and had to back out. So Askew lost a little bit of ground in turn 2, and he's caught back up already, turn 3 and 4. 35.231 for Askew. So the driver to watch on this Rotax Senior Tag Senior Field has been Oliver Askew as he's come from 18th up to 5th, and he's looking for 4th. As in any form of racing, the closer you get to the front, the harder it is to pass. Watching Derek Mays drop through the field just a little bit. Annie Hayden's moved to 12th. Dustin Strauss up to 10th. And Askew has gotten around. I missed the pass. I'm going to assume it was turn number 3, the left-hander. So move Oliver Askew to 4th as he raises his hand and waves to Roger Ralston. Now Ralston's going to fight back, and he come into 2. Give me a little love tap in 2. So it doesn't look like Ralston's going to go down without a fight. As next up will be his teammate Jonathan Kotick in that 310. Last time by, Oliver had him by about 0.6 of a second. And it hasn't changed much. So with 10 laps to go, Sam Beasley leads Nick Neary, Jonathan Kotick, Oliver Askew, and Roger Ralston, your top 5. Looking Puerto Rican in 6th, Morgan Healy in 7th, Austin Jordan in 8th, Miguel Gransal in 9th, and 10th, Dustin Strauss. Some of these drivers will be headed up to Newcastle Motorsports Park next weekend. That for event number 3 of the WK Manufacturers Cup Racing Series. Miguel Gransal now up to 8th overall. Gransal on that tag cart, quick time 35.579, so it puts him right smack dab in the middle of this group. Now look at there, it's Mr. Oliver Askew within a cart length of Jonathan Kotick. Askew's going to look to the inside, coming to turn 2. They're side by side. Kotick backs out and lets him take the spot. So Oliver Askew now to 3rd with Jonathan Kotick right behind him. There's about a 1.5 second gap between 2nd and 3rd. We've got 7 laps to go. We'll see if Oliver Askew can close that gap any, and that would be to his teammate Nick Neary. At the line, it was actually 2.2 seconds. Quick time, Oliver Askew, 35.181. He set that just 2 laps ago. So Sam Beasley still leads. He's led all but 1 lap so far. So white flag in the air. Sam Beasley still leading by 0.3 of a second. And 2.2 seconds back, Oliver Askew. So rolling out next will be our Rotax Masters, Tag Masters, and DD2 Pre-Final. We're looking at another 18-lap pre-final. Starting on row number 7 will be Rafael Pupio. Row 6 will be Nelio Barnes and Renee Martinelli. Row 5 will be Darren Mays and Ramsey Potts. Row 4, Kevin Coy and Jason Nelson. Row 3 will be Richard Lowe and Scott Kalb. Row 2, Jerry Brown and Rob Mayer. And row number 1 will be Dan Pinkston and Scott Roberts. Let's see if our senior masters group will be as slow starting as the other two groups. I'm driving that slow, put a remote control in my hand, I'd be asleep. Green flag is out and we are racing. Looks like Scott Roberts is going to take over the lead. Looks like Dan Pinkston will drop back to that third spot. And Rob Mayer will jump into second. So let's say the 628 leads the 629 with a 712 in third. 18 laps. Oh, Neil, I believe that is Renee Martinelli. Yep, in the 500 CRG DD2, already tearing through the field. He started last on the field. It looks like he's already up into that, looks like 6th spot right behind Jerry Brown right now as they come through turn number 3. He's got the power in the low end of that 2-speed transmission to come around these other carts. Let's see if he makes a good move coming out of the tree turn here now on Jerry Brown as he hits second. There you go. He's now up beside Jerry Brown. He'll take that spot away. Next victim will be Scott Kalb as he goes right by him, now into 4th overall. Scott Roberts leads the way over Rob Mayer, Dan Pinkston, Scott Kalb, and Jerry Brown. So Renee Martinelli in that DD2, now into 4th overall. He leads his other DD2 partner, Nelio Barnes, who's sitting back in 11th last time by. As once again, as you get closer to the front of the field, these carts get harder and harder to pass. So Renee Martinelli has been riding behind Dan Pinkston for the last lap and a half, unable to get by. Again, you see the power of that DD2 work as they come out of the corners. And see, he'll get him here. He hits second. He's up beside Pinkston and passed. Let's see if he can get him one more. That's going to be Rob Mayer, the 629. As they come through turn number 1, he looks wide. He'll dive to the inside, and he gets around. Now he's in 2nd overall. So great drive, great to watch. Renee Martinelli in that DD2 cart come from last to 1st. We'll give him a little bit of passing practice here. Renee with a 35.888 currently holds quick lap, so it's going to take him right now. He's got 4 laps in, and is in 2nd place overall. Barring any incidents, he'll get by Scott Roberts this time or next time by. There he goes to the inside in turn number 1. Got him. So your new overall leader, Renee Martinelli. Renee leading that DD2 class, DD2 Masters class. and overall. So 4.5 laps, 5.5 laps. Renee Martinelli from 13th all the way to 1st. Scott Roberts, big look over his right shoulder, looks back and sees Dan Pinkston. Now Pinkston has got Rob Mayer and Scott Kalb, and they're battling out for that second spot in Rotax Masters. So your top 5 Rotax Masters, Scott Roberts, Dan Pinkston, Rob Mayer, Scott Kalb, and Jerry Brown. Once again, quick lap 35.622 by Renee Martinelli. He set that last time by his only clear lap without traffic, showing the power of that DD2. Rob Mayer trying to make a move on Dan Pinkston. You see Pinkston reach back and looks like he's trying to adjust that power valve as he heads down turn 2. We'll see if Rob Mayer is going to try to make that pass. He got a good run coming out of the tree turn last lap by. He's about 3 or 4 kart lengths back at the tree turn. Don't know if he's going to be able to make that run this time. Pinkston keeps to the inside. Now, as we look to the back, we see Neilio Barnes getting around Jason Nelson. Nelson has moved up in that 5th spot. Gets around Jerry Brown, so both Nelson and Neilio Barnes get around him. And we've got, oh, that's Neilio Barnes has spun it. And we've got another kart off into the right side of the track, off in turn number 1 on the outside. So Neilio Barnes trying to make a move. We'll get you a driver's name as we're halfway. 9 down, 9 to go. Renee Martinelli still leads overall. Scott Roberts leads Rotax Masters. In 2nd, Rob Mayer. In 3rd, Scott Kalb down Pinkston 4th. Kevin Coy now 5th. And it looks like it was Jason Nelson, the unlucky driver there, that went off in turn number 1 as Neilio Barnes takes it to the shed. So both Nelson and Barnes off the track right now. Nelson sitting in turn number 1 as our corner workers repair those barriers. So it's going to move Rotax Masters drivers around just a little bit. Scott Roberts leads. Rob Mayer 2nd. 3rd, Scott Kalb. 4th, Dan Pinkston. 5th, Kevin Coy. Let's see if we can catch up at 5th spot. That's going to be a battle now between Jerry Brown, Kevin Coy, and Richard Lowe. Those drivers within about a 1.5 seconds of each other as they come through the tree turn. Our drivers are into lap traffic already. We've got Darren Mays and that Tag Masters group are now running a lap down. With a mixed class like this, no one is black flagged. And in the other classes, no one's black flagged. We use that blue and yellow stripe flag to show that you are about to be lapped or a quicker driver is coming up behind you. Jerry Brown starting to make it interesting there with Kevin Coy. Once he gets a good run, he'll look to the inside in the showcase turn. Jerry Brown picks up the position. So move Jerry Brown into 5th in Rotax Masters. Great comeback for Jerry. Jerry had broken an arm. Broke his arm, not go-kart racing. So I see Scott Kalb has got around Dan Pinkston. Now Dan Pinkston is starting to fight it out with Scott Kalb. We've got 5 laps to go. And Renee Martinelli, he set his quick lap of 35.161. He set that on lap number 8. He's already checked out by 9 seconds over your first place in Rotax Masters. That's Scott Roberts. He comes around the tree turn about the same time that Renee Martinelli crosses start-finish. So can Pinkston get around Scott Kalb? That will be decided here in a couple laps. He's right on his bumper, looks to the inside. He had a bumper, and that was about it as they come through turn number 1. And wisely backed out. A 12-second lead overall for Renee Martinelli. Renee came from back of the pack all the way to the front, now leading by 12 seconds. In Rotax Master, Scott Roberts leads Rob Mayer, Scott Kalb, Dan Pinkston, and Jerry Brown. Pinkston still battling it out there with Scott Kalb. That'll be for that third spot. And then looking back for Jerry Brown holds on to fifth. He's got Richard Lowe right behind him, and then Kevin Coy behind him. As we've got 2 to go, and your overall leader already coming through the showcase turn. He'll pick up the white flag. $34,944. First driver, $34,944. Renee Martinelli into the 34s. So Renee Martinelli's picked up the checkered flag. We'll wait a little bit and see Scott Roberts come across in first place in Rotax Masters. And just a couple seconds back, Rob Mayer in second. Dan Pinkston picks up third as he did get around Scott Kalb. Kalb in fourth, and Jerry Brown hopefully will cross here in fifth. We'll see. There you have it. Jerry Brown finishes fifth on Rotax Masters. So out next will be our Yamaha Rookie and Cadet Sportsman class. And we will need our Clone Senior on grid, shifters to pre-grid. Once again, out next, our Cadet Sportsman Yamaha Rookie Group. Starting row number 2 will be Monty Cherry. Row number 1 will be Jeremy Fletcher and Ryan Rackley. Fletcher and Rackley both pole sitters in their respective classes. Quick time was a 41.852 by Ryan Rackley in that Cadet Sportsman. So it doesn't look like Monty Cherry is going to be able to take the start as that card has died and will not refire. So this will be a short race. We'll have Ryan Rackley and Cadet Sportsman and Jeremy Fletcher and Yamaha Sportsman. Clone Senior, you're on grid. Shifters, you're pre-grid. Bring them up, please. So white flag out for Ryan Rackley. Ryan in that cadet sportsman class with a quick time of 40.906. Fletcher leads the way in Yamaha rookie. His quick time 41.623. Next up, clone seniors need to be on grid. Shifters to pre-grid. So up next will be our clone senior pre-final. 15 laps. Row number 3 will be Gus Blanco and Randy Albany. Row 2 will be Daniel Gray and Josh Smith. And row number 1 will be all Smith with Rick Smith outside pole and Tim Smith, your pole sitter, with a time of 43.523. So it looks like only 5 carts are going to make the field here for this 15-lap pre-final. Gus Blanco not making the field, and we've got one go-kart out there that is missing his gas cap. So don't know who that driver is, but they are minus a gas cap. Green flag is out. It caught Tim Smith looking as he was looking over his right shoulder when the green flag came out. So it's snookered him, and he'll drop back a few. So yes, the 0-5 of Tim Smith will pick up the meatball, as he is the driver that is missing his fuel cap. Let's hope that fuel is not spreading all over him. It's first time by. It's going to be Daniel Gray with the lead, Josh Smith in second, Rick Smith in third, Randy Albany fourth. And picking up the meatball will be Tim Smith. So we've got a driver around in turn number 2. And a battle for first. This looks like Tim Smith's going to adhere to the black flag and come in, as he was given the black flag this time by. It's again the 127. Daniel Gray leads the way. Quick time, 42.849. Josh Smith holds overall quick time in the 125 with a 42.089. If Rick Smith can get around Randy Albany, it'll be an all-Smith podium. Josh Smith with a good run, looking into turn number 1. He'll take the top spot away from Daniel Gray and continue to hold on to that as they come through turn 1. Josh Smith had pole with a 41.990. Gray was second with a 42.334, but there was some of the drivers here were disqualified, I believe, for underweight. Gray looking over his shoulders, trying to find Smith. Or Smith looking over, his shoulders, looking for Gray. So Josh Smith unable to shake Daniel Gray as there's a scant tenth of a second between these two drivers at the line. Josh seems to pull away on the stretches, but is quickly caught up as Gray comes through the corners. Once again, nose to tail through the tree turn. Josh Smith is taking the 125 off the track. Josh running second. Do not know the reason why he's pulled off, but it's only going to leave 3 carts on the track right now, so it moves Randy Albany up into second. And Rick Smith now moves into third. So there's your, looks like that's the way they may finish, assuming that nobody else breaks down. Daniel Gray leads over Randy Albany and Rick Smith. Shifters, you're up next for an 18-lap pre-final. And we'll take a quick break right after our Shifters pre-final. And then we'll go right into our finals of the day. So Daniel Gray currently leading by almost 17 seconds over Randy Albany. Rick Smith running in third. Be the last driver to pick up the white flag. Next flag out will be the checkered for Daniel Gray. He's got quick time, 41.745. And there you have it, your winner, Daniel Gray of your Clone Senior. Randy Albany coming in second, Rick Smith third, Josh Smith fourth, and Tim Smith in fifth. Out next, our shifters group. This is a Moto shifters class. Row number 5 will be Matthew Sanford and Farsad Bagheri. Row 4 will be Chris Gannon and Jonathan Kotick. Row 3, A.J. Myers and Morgan Healy. Row 2, Sam Beasley and Ashley Rajero. And row number 1 will be Nick Neary and pole sitter Oliver Askew. Askew with a pole time 33.206. So Oliver Askew out into the lead over Nick Neary, Sam Beasley, Ashley Rajero, Jonathan Kotick, A.J. Myers, Morgan Healy, Chris Gannon, Farsad Bagheri, and Matt Sanford as they cross the line. And my ears have deceived me. Sounds like Oliver Askew will be given a one-position penalty for jumping the start. He was creeping as they rolled off. Oliver 33.234. Quick lap, first time by. Already with a 0.7 of a second lead over his teammate Nick Neary, with another teammate Sam Beasley behind him. Another teammate Ashley Rajero behind him, and behind her Jonathan Kotick in 5th. All right, 5 laps in. Oliver Askew leading the way over just under 0.4 of a second over Nick Neary. Sam Beasley running 3rd, Rajero 4th, Kotick in 5th. I guess the closest battle I'm looking at now could be between Ashley Rajero and Sam Beasley. And then you could jump back to the 28 of A.J. Myers and Morgan Healy. Morgan Healy out-qualified A.J. Myers this morning by about 1/10 of a second. So those two carts very closely matched. So we're racing somewhat 2 by 2. I think Sam Beasley feels lonely because he doesn't have anybody to race. Excuse me, it's Jonathan Kotick that's going to be lonely, not having anybody to race in that 54. And you've got that group of Cat 5 racing carts coming across. That's 8th, 9th, and 10th. Chris Gannon, Fashad Begary, and Matt Sanford. Begary, the importer for that chassis line. $33.081. Quick time for Nick Neary. Set that on lap number 4. So the lead for Askew, 0.2 of a second. Both drivers ran their quickest lap last time by, 33.1 to 33.0. So about 19 thousandths of a second between those two drivers in speed. Neary right on the back bumper of Oliver Askew. Dogging him hard is Rajero right behind Beasley. Good run for Neary as they come to the showcase turn. Can he pull off a pass coming into turn number 1? Or does he stay right behind him? Looks like he'll stay status quo. 8 laps to go. 10 laps in, another 18-lap pre-final. Folks, our finals are 10, 14, 25, 18 laps for these drivers. So with 5 laps to go, your quick time 33.081 by Nick Neary. Neary currently running second, right behind teammate Oliver Askew. Those identically prepared go-karts. Top 5 go-karts, OGP teammates and prepared OGP karts. So once again, Oliver Askew already battling with a 1 position penalty to be handed down after the race for jumping the start. Leading Nick Neary by just under 0.2 of a second. And we'll be going 2 to go next time by. As your leaders now within about 5 seconds of lap traffic. And Neary moves to the inside of Askew, takes the spot away in the tree turn. So good move, good bit of driving. That was probably unexpected. As Neary now starts to pull away 0.2 of a second in just 2 turns. 2 laps to go. He was counting and waiting. 2 laps to go, and we got a little bit of lap traffic ahead of him. Do not know if they'll catch up to him. They're about 4 seconds ahead. Great bit of driving. You'll want to watch that kart handle by Nick Neary as he comes into the tree turn. He'll stand it up on his nose and pick up that right rear inside tire a good 4 inches off the ground. So a 1/2 second advantage in a lap and a half. Nick Neary pulling away. 33.081 quick time. He's running about 0.2 of a second a lap quicker now than Askew. Both drivers drop back to 33 seconds. So final lap, checkered flag comes out. Nick Neary, he'll take the win. Oliver Askew comes home second. Sam Beasley third. Ashley Harrell fourth. Jonathan Kodak in fifth.